What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Easter, Resurrection Sunday, whatever you choose to refer to this day as. Happy. Um, we get ready to get into this Love and Marriage DC now. I was going to do this review last night, so that we wouldn't, we would not be bothering, the people while they down to the Easter service with this, situation. But maybe I was watching the Ten Commandments last night. I love the Ten Commandments. That's my movie. And come on, every day before Easter. I'm sorry, y'all. I used to remember. I used to watch it while my mama was doing my hair for service, honey. Getting that pressing curl together. But anyway, here we are, you guys. Am I live on both channels? It doesn't look like I'm live on both channels. Tracy, am I live on both channels? I can't tell. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I think we got a technical difficulty going on here. Hold on. Let me see what I did. Did I set it up on both channels? I thought I did. Oh, I am? Okay, I'm on both channels. Okay. So on the main channel, y'all know the drill. For the people who've been here, ReallyBTV should be set on members only. But you know that you can go over to ReallyBTV reviews and you can enjoy the whole situation. All right. So let's get into this episode. Again, I have to say, I'm coming on camera in a second. Give me a second, y'all. Again, I have to say, this was a great episode. This was a really, really good episode. Y'all know why it was powerful? I can see you, boo. You weren't blocked. I don't know if sometimes Powerful thought she was blocked. Sometimes they have what they call YouTube has their own moderators. I think they're even called YouTube moderators. YouTube has their own moderators, and sometimes certain comments get held depending on the words. And I'm not saying you were using anything that was offensive, but it's a bot, and it's through you are blocked on my regular channel. Okay, hold on. All right. Okay, powerful. I'll get you straight, baby. I'll get you straight. But yeah, there's a bot. So I didn't block you. And I know that none of my moderators would have done it on purpose. I know they wouldn't have done it on purpose. So I apologize. Because like I said, you've been a supporter for a very long time, and I would not have blocked you. So let me go into I'll get it straight, but I'm gonna do it afterwards, okay? But I'm gonna get you straight, powerful. I have to go into my studio, and I have to unblock you like that. Or the easier way to do it is if you could comment under a video, and then I can unblock you like that. But I apologize, sweetheart. I do. All right, you guys, let's get into the things. You were blocked on Bondi Blue channel. Yeah, I know nobody would have done it on purpose, because we know all of my mods know Powerful. She's been around for a while. Excuse me for eating, y'all. Okay. But I'm gonna get you straight, sweetheart. And I'm sorry, I'm sorry. So let's get into this episode. This was a great episode. And why was this a great episode? Because once again, we are moving past the drama, okay? We are moving past the drama. And so it was a really good episode. So we pick up where we left off, unfortunately. Now, let me say this. Now, y'all know you can't, but Abby can. Abby and El Teddy can, because they're managing mods. I have to make you a manager. Hold on, Tracy. Let me make you a manager mod and then see if you can do it. All right. So she said on my main channel. So let me go over to my main channel. I'm sorry, you guys. If you guys are watching this in a replay, I apologize. But Powerful has been a faithful subscriber, and I don't like that. Hold on. Powerful has been okay. Tracy. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Okay. Tracy, you're a managing mod now, so you should be able to block or unblock. You're just here to say hashtag joy good night. What up, T? Hey, boo. Well, let me say this. This is how I feel about the situation. We pick up where we left off. Now, y'all know I've been rocking with Ashley. I like Ashley, even though y'all been giving me a hard time about liking Ashley. But I can also, identify when I don't agree with everything that Ashley does and says. I do not like this sassy commentary on Clifton. I don't like it. I don't like it. I've said it. I said it the first time she said it way back when they was at the down to the studio situation. I mean the suite. I just don't like it. I mean, there's a way to. I feel like there's just a way you could describe yourself without emasculating somebody. I do not feel like Clifton's action, although I'm not crazy about Clifton's attitude about the situation. I don't feel like his like okay. You don't like the comments that they make about you. I'm talking to Ashley. You don't like the comments they make about you wearing the pants in the family and you being the man of the house and you having a beard and all this other stuff, right? So it's the same thing. And I just feel like there's a way to get your point across without throwing gender type insults. I don't like it. So I'm going to give Joy a lot of credit. I'm going to give Joy a lot of credit through this whole conversation. I think Joy handled this conversation very well. Y'all know I've been giving Joy the blues, but I think Joy handled the situation very well. And what I mean by that is the minute Ashley flipped the conversation to my husband, calling him sassy and acting like a woman and yada, yada, yada. Like, I don't know if the conversation would have went that same way that it went. I'm just going to call a thing a thing. I don't think the conversation would have went the same way it went. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to like Cliff. And I can respect that you don't like him. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you don't like Cliff. I just feel like there was a better way of expressing that other than making it about gender roles. I just don't like it. But moving on, the other thing was, I feel like, and again, I know this was a longer conversation that was edited down. I get that. But I feel like multiple times in this conversation, Joy was trying to move past where they were. I even like the fact that when Ashley went back to what happened at the suite and how Clifton was standing over her, I love how Joy changed her language. Instead of saying he didn't do it, he didn't do it, he didn't do it. I love how Joy said, I want to respect your perception of the situation or your point of view. However she said it, I felt like was a respectful way of basically saying, I don't agree, but we're trying to move past it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all, look at these little egg muffins, my little breakfast egg muffins. My sister made me these. They so cute and good. As cheese and spinach. Little sausage. Y'all know I don't like eating on camera, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. So, in all reality, I feel like Joy was doing a really good job of trying to move past it. But I also understand Ashley's point of view to say, look, I want to move forward with you, but I don't like your husband, and I don't know what that's going to look like down the road. Like right now, great. We're in a better place. We're talking it out. We're moving past it. You make these with egg white. That's good. This stops me from going over to the Dunkin' Donut child. I didn't even get no coffee this morning, y'all. Aren't y'all proud of me? I don't know when I got hooked on coffee. I've never been a coffee drinker. So Joy said, look, you're right. My husband really don't like you. And it goes back to the conversation we had when you were kind of coming for me about not being a mother, but speaking at a mother's conference. Now, listen, I still don't understand that. But that's not a Joy thing. That's an organizer thing. Like the people who were organizing that, there's no way in the world that you invite someone who's not a single mother to speak to single mothers about being a single mother, about finding love as a single mother. That's not your lane. And that doesn't mean that Joy doesn't have a conversation to be had about finding love. And that doesn't mean that Joy doesn't have a story to tell about finding love. But finding love as a single mother, that's not your lane. And I understood the question because I probably would have said the same thing. But hey, Miss Gigi. But that is where the relationship broke down between Ashley and Clifton. Now, can I say this to all the people who have been making it seem like Ashley is exaggerating her experience with Joy and Clifton? Can we validate some of it? I ain't saying everything. But can y'all give her about 10, 20%? Because Joy validated the fact that, yeah, my husband don't like you. And it goes all the way back to the first episode of last season. Because remember, that was the first episode. That was the first episode of season 2. Was when they were down to that event with Joy. Well, it was Joy and Clifton's first scene. Let me say that. Maybe it wasn't the first episode, but it was their first group scene. So can we validate that Ashley ain't crazy and feeling like Cliff didn't like her? Can we validate that just a little bit? Okay. The other part of this conversation where Ashley was exhausting me was when Joy said, I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact words and I didn't write it down. When you're going to put another message in the chat. Okay, powerful. Let me know if y'all get it straight. If not, I'll have to go into my studio and do it after this live. Okay, boo? I'm so sorry. When Joy said something along the lines of, I want to move forward, or I want to rebuild our relationship, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the exact terms. And Ashley was like, do you? I mean, I don't know if I believe that. I need to feel it. And Ashley was like, Joy was like, girl, I'm telling you. She was like, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if I really feel that. Like, girl, like, I think a lot of this, and Ashley said she's been in therapy a long time. And I know there's a lot that Ashley is working through. And maybe that's why I give her grace and I love her. I really do like Ashley. But I think y'all need to talk about trust. You need to work with your therapist on trust, because I'm really sitting here like, what more does this woman need to say to you? Like, what more does she need to say that you will believe what she's saying? Does that make sense? Okay, Miss Gigi say, nope, I ain't giving her no validation. I didn't see the scene that way. If you're talking about him not liking her, I can validate that. That's all I'm talking about, Miss Gigi. That's all. Listen, I ain't talking about nothing else. I'm just saying, Joy admitted that, yeah, Cliff don't like you. Cliff ain't really rocking with you. So you know how you can feel something off of somebody, whether they articulate it or not. You know how you can feel a vibe off of somebody. That's all I'm saying. Because I know I'm that way. I can walk in a room, and if I feel like you being a little stank towards me, I feel it. Like, I feel that vibe. You got that vibe. Hey. She makes it hard for me to like her. That's okay. Listen, baby. Listen, I don't know these people in real life. But I do. I like everybody on this show. And I'm going to be honest with you. Joy had lost a lot for me. She gained a lot of it back in this episode. I'm going to be honest with you. See how one conversation can flip as a viewer? See how one conversation can move stuff along? I feel like these last 2 episodes have been the best 2 episodes of the season, because they haven't been so zero focused in on this damn Ashley Joy conflict. And we've been able to see some other storylines unfold. We've been able to see Jamie dealing with his PTSD. We're going to see little Jamie this episode, which I got some stuff to say about that. We see Ashley and her mom. We're seeing some other things. We're even seeing some resolution. You know what I'm saying? With Joy and Ashley. And the reality of the situation is, in real life, we don't always have to be friends. We don't. But if we're going to work together, we do have to find a way to push past working together. All right. So they agreed that they're going to take things slow, but Joy does end up inviting Ashley to her birthday party. And Joy says, listen, if it's too soon, it's okay. But I want to let you know the invitation has been extended. And I can respect that. Moving forward, I can respect that. Joy, after the Ready to Love reunion, let me know she's a mean girl and Clifton likes to be in the mess. Ooh. Yeah, she definitely made a lot of enemies after that reunion, child. A lot of y'all really wasn't rocking with her after that reunion. Okay. All right, I'm done. Sorry about that, y'all. I had to put some on my stomach because I just took some medicine. All right. All right, so it's okay, Tracy. I don't know what's going on, but I'll do it as soon as this live is over. I'll do it. So we get to Ashley's book signing. Now, Tracy, this is one of those events. I believe this is the one that was a public event because it's at Mahogany Bookstore that's down in the harbor. If you guys ever come to DC and you go down to the harbor, there's a Black-owned bookstore called Mahogany Books. Please make sure y'all go check it out, buy some books, support them. We used to have a couple of Black-owned bookstores, and of course, all of that stuff has kind of, so y'all make sure y'all go. If you live in the area, if you've never been there, go down there and support them. Now, I was going to go to this book signing. I remember telling Tracy, I was like, I'm going to go to the book signing. I believe it was a Friday. But what happened was the time that they were having the book signing, I wouldn't have been able to get there. I think it was like, if it's the same day, which I don't know if it's the same day or not because it was already dark outside. But I feel like the time she was having the book signing, it conflicted with something else I had to do at work. I remember the time wasn't good, but this might not be the same book signing because this book signing might have only been like for them to film these scenes and for a select number of people. Because I saw like Miss DC was there and stuff like that. So I'm thinking that maybe this wasn't the public one. I don't know. But I know the public one they had, I want to say that I wouldn't have been able to get there straight from work. Like by the time I got off work and got there, it would have been, I don't remember. But I remember thinking I ain't gonna make it. Neither here nor there. Plus, if that's the same day and it was raining like that, I'm telling you now, I was like, no, I'm going home. But with that being said, Ashley has a book signing event and everybody came out to support except for Joy and Clifton, which we don't know the sequence of events. We don't know if this happened before or after they had their conversation and made up because Lord knows they be filming shit out of order. So I don't know. But Joy and Clifton were not there. But it looked like it was a nice event. Looked like it was, people there to support her. Her sister came, but her mother did not. We'll get to that in a second. Lil Jamie was there. Listen, why ain't nobody read that woman book? I got the book right here, and we've talked about it. First of all, y'all, if I'm being honest, it's not a hard read. It's really more of a journal style book. So, you have journal prompts. If you haven't read the book or you haven't gotten the book, they're journal prompts. So she tells her story, right? So like this one says, it says the title of the chapter is What the F Are You? Yeah, I read it. Oh, that's right. They were on vacation. That's right, Powerful. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, they were on vacation. That's right. They were on vacation. Never mind. So there's literally just a page and a half. It's a page and a half. And then there's a journal prompt based on what she wrote in here, right? So honestly, you guys, they really could have read the damn book. Especially since she made sure everybody had a copy of the book. Everybody had the book. Now, y'all could have read that woman book or at least read enough of it to fake it. Wasn't like it wasn't War and Peace. Look. And the majority of that is journaling. Look at all them journal pages. I could have read that girl book. So I understand her being a little disappointed, but you know, Ashley, they were there to support, and sometimes that's they came. I mean, even though they kind of had to come, but they came. Okay. So Ashley had her book signing. Everybody was there to support. That was great. We saw her talking to her sister. Listen, Ashley, I think your sister gave you the best advice that she could give you. She said, girl, look, you're never going to get an apology. Mama is never going to see the situation the way you see the situation. And you are going to have to find a way to make peace with that and move on. And honestly, y'all, I said that last week. That's what you're going to have to do, Ashley. Especially when it comes to our parents. They don't see things the way we see things. Because they have their perspective. They know what they thought, what they meant, how they felt, their intention. And we know how it made us feel and how it affected us and what we saw. And I hate that everybody kept asking for the audiobook. You guys, how do you audiobook a journal? I mean, I know she did do an audio version, but that tells me that y'all didn't even look at the book. Y'all didn't even look at the damn book. And right, my opinion, now yours says it's a hard truth. I understand that personally. Right. And I've had friends that have gone through that. Right. I mean, I've gone through that with my own family. Like, as an adult, when I tell my mom certain things, now they haven't been as heavy as my mama abandoning me. Like, it hasn't been that heavy, but it could be something really simple, like, Mom wanted to do such and such, and you told me we couldn't do such and such because we had to do such. I don't know. I can't think of a good example right now. I don't want to make something up that sounds silly. But at the end of the day, ultimately, as parents, most of the time, I can't speak for every parent because every parent don't have the same intention. But for most parents don't have children saying, "I'm gonna fuck this up." Not most parents. Not most. Now we got some parents that we got that. We understand that. But right, my perception is my reality. So if I know that my intent was one thing, but that's not how you perceived it. And the other thing too, especially with Ashley's mom, because that example is such an extreme situation, like I said last week, she's not ready to accept the harsh reality of what she did. Because in the moment, it might have seemed like a good idea. Did I tell you the story about my coworker who did that with her kids? My coworker, when I lived in North Carolina, it was white woman, and I had to say this because at the time I was side-eyeing her like, what? Her and her boyfriend, she was in love, and this was an older woman. Her kids were like, one was in college, the other was in high school, right? They decided, her and her boyfriend, because I don't know if she couldn't give up her lease, or it was something with his house, her lease, or maybe vice versa. They decided that their kids would move into the apartment, and her new boyfriend, I don't even think they had gotten married, we're going to live in his house. And like I said, her son, I believe it was her son at the time, was in high school. Her daughter was over 18. I think she was like at community college. And then he had a child. So the 3 kids lived in the apartment while she moved into the house. Now, I'm sure in her mind, that wasn't a bad thing, right? She was like, the bills are paid. I make sure they have groceries. I go over there every other day. I go over there I go over there and check regularly and make sure everything is all good. But ultimately, that don't make no damn sense. If you could afford to still pay let me rewind that. I think the 2 older kids were going to pay the rent. I think it was something financial involved. I think the 2 older kids were going to pay the rent until the lease was up, and then they were going to all move into the house. I think it was something crazy like that. But neither here nor there, y'all. In my mind, I was listening to her explain this to me at work, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, this is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. I'd rather just break the lease and take the penalty. Because God forbid something happened in that apartment. God forbid something happened in that apartment. All y'all going to jail. First of all, you broke your lease when you moved out and you let them kids move in. That's number one. You done already broke your lease. That's number one. Number two, shit, I'm just leaving it at number one. Y'all get the point. So neither here nor there. But Ashley's sister really tried to tell her, girl, you're gonna have to let this go. You're gonna have to let this go. Okay. Ashley, just like very much in your argument with Joy, and I feel like in your current situation that you're dealing with the Tylers, you are looking for something you're never going to get. Here's my issue with Ashley, and I said this before, and this is why I say that I don't think Ashley is good for reality TV. Ashley can't compromise. It's all or nothing with her. She can't take the win. She can't see the silver lining. She can't see that the glass is half full. It's always empty. It's not even half empty. It's just empty. And I just, and Quick is the same way. You saw when they were in the confessional, and Quick was like, I mean, you know, whatever my wife say, I'm cool with. But, you know, normally if somebody disrespects our house, that's it. That's a wrap. I mean, ain't no coming back from that. So, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that my wife wants to, you know, make up with Joy. But, I mean, okay. They're used to just being able to just throw people away and move on. And when I know that sounds harsh to say throw people away. But, I mean, that's how I feel about it. Like, they're used to just throwing people away and moving on. And everybody is not disposable. Like, people fuck up. People mess up, you know? So I say all that to say, I feel like I'm rambling, y'all. I'm sorry. I say all that to say, that is why I go back to that. I think I really need Ashley to be able to find the silver lining. I really need Ashley to be able to meet people halfway. You know what I'm saying? And I think we've all been guilty of that, but I'm seeing multiple examples of this with Ashley, you know, and I think that's why we are where we are right now as a cast. And I'm not saying that that's all on Ashley. I'm not saying it all falls on Ashley. But I think Ashley is the loudest voice in the room. I'll put it that way. Ashley is the type of person that gets rooted in what she believes and sees or hears nothing else, even though she's wrong. Quick is not a stand-up husband when it comes to her. I hate to say that sometimes the silver eel, they are better. Silver eel, they are better. I don't know what that means, powerful. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees, and you have to, and when you have abandoned issues. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I'm not saying that Ashley is a bad person. I know I keep saying it over and over again. I told you that I don't think Ashley's a bad person. I really don't. But I think her personality is bad for reality TV. And that's just, again, we've been saying the same thing on the Real Housewives of Potomac. Something had to give with that cast. Because it's not fun. Like, I don't know how. I told you guys, I suspect that Carlos is going to make an announcement when he comes here next month for Mother's Day. Well, in May for Mother's Day. And I suspect it's going to be that the show is coming back. But he's going to have to make some hard decisions. Because this cast can't come back. I don't know if they honestly can move past what they need to move past. I honestly don't know if they can. I don't think they're making enough money for it to be worth their while, if you want to know the truth of the matter. I'm just being real. I'm calling a thing a thing. So, happy Easter, Jazz. Hey. Okay, so moving on. So like I said, moving on to the next scene. We have a really, really, really good scene with Ashley and Lil Jamie. I thought this. Listen again. This is why I love that Ashley has been so open with her story, because this was a great conversation with her and little Jamie. I loved it. You know what, y'all? And I'm gonna say this to Jamie. I'm gonna slide in Big Jamie's DMs, and I'm gonna tell him, little Jamie looks better in this episode. I he looks better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean that. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean he looks like he's happier. He looks like he's in a better headspace. He looks like he's in a better mental space. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? In this scene with Ashley, Lil Jamie looks better. You know, um, he was talking about how he had a friend recently that unalived himself and how he's trying to process and work his way through that. He said that his friend left a note to his mother saying, I've done all I, I've fulfilled everything. I've done everything on this earth and I'm ready to go. And he said, I don't understand how he could feel like at 25, he's done all he needs to do. And that was to me, that was a very good sign because that tells me that mentally, Jamie, at least in that moment, because it's a constant struggle, but in that moment, Lil Jamie has moved out of the mindset of, I don't need to be here. Right. So I was like, that is a really, really, really good thing to hear because that tells me that he has mentally moved out of that space. Ashley, again, was very open about her story. She let us know that a couple of years ago, not even, she said that she feels like she's been dealing with depression since she was in high school, even though at the time she didn't fully can make that connection. But as an adult and going through therapy, she looks back and realizes that she probably was depressed even going back as far as high school. She was very open about the fact that a few years ago, so this is after she was married, this is after she's had kids, she tried to unalive herself and how she was hospitalized for it. So I feel like as much flack as we give Ashley, I feel like Ashley is probably better than she used to be. You know what I'm saying? Because she is in therapy and she is trying to do the work. Um, and it's like we already know that depression doesn't have a dollar sign attached to it. We've seen celebrities who everybody loves. I mean, I always think back on Robin Williams, right? Everybody loved Robin Williams. Robin Williams was, had money. He had accolades. He had a family, and made the decision that he did not need to be here anymore. Now, I know the story, part of the story is that he had been diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's, and a lot of people think maybe that has something to do with it. I honestly think it was more than that. But we know, so when you say, oh well, Ashley is beautiful and she lives a good life and her husband is well known in the area and more than outside of the area as well, and they live a good life and that kind of thing, we know that none of that matters. And so again, I do applaud Ashley for sharing her story. I do applaud Ashley for opening up, because even though a lot of that stuff is in her book, if you read the book, she didn't have to really share that with everybody. Okay, Kenya. Okay, dang. Okay, then. Okay, then. She said no. She don't get no grace for me. Okay. Well, I have grace for her. Y'all know I don't always have grace for people, but I got a soft spot for Ashley. I know. Oh, hold on a second, y'all. Give me a quick second. Somebody's at my door. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. I had a soft spot for Krishan. I do not anymore. It is gone. It is gone. My soft spot for Krishan is gone. It is gone. Okay. Um, but I did have a soft spot for her. I did. And I had a soft spot for her because I know, I think when you deal with kids all the time and you hear the horror stories and you know the things that kids have overcome, it does make you. Damn it! Hold on, y'all. Sorry, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay, but there's a thin line between having a soft spot and becoming an enabler. So I understand that. So I do have a soft spot. Like I said, when you deal with that and you see it on the front line, I think it does make you a little more empathetic. You know what I'm saying? Like I've taught my entire career. I have taught, in what they call Title I areas, right? I taught at the jail. I've worked in the detention center. So, it does make you, makes you a little softy. Sometimes in therapy, the things they teach you to protect your own mental health is very off-putting to other people. Hopefully Ashley can get to a place of being able to compromise with friends. I agree. Thank you, Kenya. You sent thank you for, Kenya does listen. Kenya does tip me, and I appreciate your tip, my love. I appreciate the cash app. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Kenya does tip me. I appreciate you, boo. All right. Wait a minute. Oh, Tracy, I didn't know you had sent me a tip. Thank you, boo. And I am going to see my cousin today, so I'm going to pick up a card on my way over there. I'm going to pick up a card. All right. I empathize with Ashley due to her past. Yeah, I empathize with Ashley. I empathize with Ashley as well. Anyway, so with that being said, you guys, I want to thank little Jamie for sharing his story. I want to thank Ashley for sharing her story. And I want to thank Big Jamie for, God damn it. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Hold on. No, I know. That's why I said I'm gonna get a card. I'm going over his house today for Easter dinner. So I'm gonna get a card, a thank you card, and I'm gonna put all the tips in the card for him. Like I told you guys on the live, I'm gonna do it in cash so he can't give it back. And I'm gonna leave it so he can't give it back. Anyway, moving forward. So with all of that being said, you guys, I just want to thank everybody because again, it's not easy to be vulnerable. And I appreciate Big Jamie for being open to seeing things differently. Now he did. Now little Jamie did say they hadn't been back to therapy, so I need y'all to get back in therapy. I need y'all to do it regularly so that y'all can do what needs to be done. So then this last scene we see Clifton and we see Joy. Now, Clifton feels some kind of way about Joy making up with Ashley because his thing was, I wouldn't be friends with somebody that had a problem with my partner, but you know, she gotta do what she gotta do. But that's letting you know that he feels some kind of way about it. Okay, that's letting you know that he ain't here for it, which I don't blame him. I understand it. I understand it. Um, I understand how he feel. I ain't gonna say he wrong for feeling the way he feel, but it's just very interesting. So he's getting ready for his beard oil launch, and he's having it at a barbershop, which I think is actually a really good idea. Like they said, barbershops now are full service. You know, you have like Nestos, like Nestos. But you get your facials and you get all kinds of things. And we already know that the barbershop, much like the beauty salon for Black women, is the gathering spot. Is the place where men get together and they gossip, and men gossip too. They don't call it gossip, but it's gossiping, and they talk. Oh no, you find powerful. I think it was something going on. um, but they talk, they talk about sports, they talk about what's going on with their women, they talk about what's happening in the neighborhood. Like they gossip too, you know. Um, there it is. So I thought that was a great idea for Clifton to do it at the barbershop. So they're talking about all the things that need to happen, the licensing and the copywriting and all of that. He said he's got the labels good to go, and they got everything in order. And Carmen wants to know, who all did you invite from the crew? And Clifton was like, well, I invited the Tylers, and I invited Winter and her man. And Carmen was like, and Clifton left it, and she was like, you didn't invite nobody else? He was like, nah. And Carmen didn't say anything, but of course, I'm sure Clifton knows her well enough to know her nonverbal. So he was like, what? You wait for me to explain? You wait for me to tell you why? She was like, nah, I mean, basically it's your situation. I'm just saying there's a difference between business and pleasure. I mean, this business and personal. And he was like, well, it's my business and I don't want them here. She was like, okay. Now, Carmen is looking at it from a business point of view, right? Carmen is a brand manager. That is what she does for a living. So from her perspective, it don't really matter whether you like these people. Can they buy your product? Can they help promote your product? Do they have a social media presence where they can post your product and get people to buy your product? Like, again, it's about branding. It's about starting a business. It's about getting units sold. It's about, these people are my coworkers, but they don't have to be my friend, right? If this were a cookout at his house, I get it. Okay, cool. But I understand where Carmen is coming from. Carmen is like, baby, this business. But neither here nor there. That was pretty much. Was it something else? I feel like that was the episode. Urena let us know that she was launching some more wigs with her wig collection. Oh, I'm sorry. The last scene we have is with Ashley and her mother. I kind of feel like I already talked about this, but I'll go ahead and cover it. Ashley took her mama out to the place to get the foot detox. Let me tell you something. If y'all ain't never had a foot detox, y'all need to go get you a foot detox. Now, I don't know all the things that came up out my body, but what I do know is, and I haven't had one in a while. I'm actually going to have one next month because I'm doing a spa day with a friend of mine. And now I already signed up for the foot detox. I was like, I want that right there. Baby, if you have never had a foot detox, I'm telling y'all go get a foot detox. Literally, the minute I put my big toe in the water, it started changing colors. And they tell you, if you go to a really nice spa, they'll tell you what the colors mean. Like, if the water turns this color, this is what it is, or this color, this is what it is. Like, it'll tell you what is coming out of your body, allegedly. Baby. You felt so much better. Yes, and it does make you feel like you really do feel better. Like them, And they say that you hold those toxins in your foot. I know Avon used to sell the foot detox pads where you could put them on your foot you put them on your foot at night and then you take them off in the morning. Baby, them things would, I used to get them, and I don't think they sell them anymore, but it would be black in the morning. Black. Okay. Anyway, Ashley once again is having a conversation with her mother, and basically her mother is embarrassed. Okay, her mother doesn't like the fact that Ashley is basically putting the story out there. And again, remember, Ashley's mother doesn't agree with Ashley's perception on the story. So on top of the fact that she's a little embarrassed that Ashley is telling the story, she doesn't agree with Ashley's version of the story. That doesn't mean that Ashley is right or wrong. That means that her mother doesn't agree with her version of the story. So on top of, I'm embarrassed because you done put all of my business out there. And then you got to making it seem like I was out here chasing a man. I wasn't chasing no man. I didn't have to do that. I wasn't out chasing no man. Like, you could tell that her mother was really upset with the perception of the story. Her mother was really upset with how people perceived her. And it sounds like people even kind of came at her mom on social media because she said, well, your supporters said this, that, and the other about me. So either her mother was reading social media or somebody told her what social media said. Or her mother is on social media and people came at her mother. Now, unfortunately, we know what this reality TV thing does. People feel like the minute you put yourself out there, that they have a right to talk about you, judge you, come at you, talk to you crazy. We know about keyboard gangsters. We know how nasty people can be on social media and even will at you about it. So I can understand her mother feeling some kind of way and her mother being in her feelings about it, right? Especially if it's something she has not accepted. But again, I'm going to just reiterate to Ashley here what I already said earlier. Sometimes you just got to meet people where they are, and either you're going to move forward or you're not. So you're going to have to just make a decision whether you're ready to move forward with your mom. And if you're not ready to move forward with your mom, then you got to put your mom in that place in your life, and you're going to have to move forward. It sounds like you have moved forward. I mean, she said on social media last night that her mama in Jamaica right now, that they just sent her mama to Jamaica, that her mom got her trip. She said it took a year, but her mom did get a trip to Jamaica. So I feel like they're moving forward and they're moving in a good place. Lord, did T come for Big Mama? Lord have mercy. Now again, that's just how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I believe Ashley's version of the story, but at a certain point, you just have to, sometimes you just got to let people have their version of events. For your own mental space, like for your own well-being, sometimes you just got to let people have their version of the story. And then at that point, you just got to make a decision. Either you move forward or you don't. I mean, I have that. I mean, we have that in our lives with people all the time, with friends, family, boyfriends, girlfriends. You know what I'm saying? You saw it this way and I saw it that way. But either we're going to move forward or we're not. And that's your mama. So if you want to move forward with your mama, you just got to let her have her version of the story. I mean, I know that sounds real crazy, but you have to put people in. And I told y'all a long time ago that I'm not one of those people. I used to be. I have evolved and grown. But I'm not one of those people that feels like, oh, well, they're family. You just got to know. No, you don't. Just because somebody's family doesn't mean you have to. If it's toxic and it does not serve you, it's okay to walk away. That's how I feel. And I feel that way about parents. I feel that way about siblings. I feel that way about cousins. I even feel that way about children. If you've done all you can do and it no longer serves you, it's okay to move forward. That's my opinion. Right, Tracy. Me and my siblings remember the same. Me and my sister, and it's so funny. I was thinking about this last night. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna be done. Me and my sister, I told you guys back in October, we went to our high school's homecoming. Now I went to a Catholic high school. It was an all-girls high school, so we don't really have homecoming like that, right? We do, but we don't, So we had home. We all decided to go to homecoming last year because me and my sister and 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 of my cousins. We all went to the same high school at different times because we're not all the same age. So it was myself, my sister, and my 2 cousins. We were all there together. And we got into this conversation. I don't remember how the conversation started, but we got into this conversation with me and my sister. And I realized that my sister and I see things from a very, very different perspective. And it's one of those things where I wanted to revisit because we were, it wasn't the place to have that deep of a conversation. But I never knew how my sister perceived certain things because I'm 4 years older than my sister. So when I was in high school, she was still in elementary school, middle school, whatever. And she felt like I didn't like her because I didn't want her around. And I was like, I liked you, but I didn't want you around. Like I was in high school, you were in, 5th, 6th grade. But the problem was we shared friends. Our friend group, our neighborhood friend group, we shared friends. So when we were doing stuff that she couldn't do, she felt some kind of way about it, right? And her defense to it was to be mean. My sister was mean. So I was like, dang, my sister don't F with me. Like, as a kid, I'm thinking my sister really don't F with me. She does not like me because she is mean as hell to me, right? Well, she was feeling the same way about me, but we never had the conversation. You understand what I'm saying? So she is seeing it from a totally different perspective that I'm seeing it from. And here we are, fast forward, 20, 30 years later. And now we're finally able to, like, because again, when I say, like, at the end of the day, couldn't nobody ever mess with my sister. Like, it wasn't like that. But we just were never really close. We just weren't. Like, she was my sister and I loved her. I had her back. She had my back. There was times I was there for her. It was times she was there for me. Like, it was never that kind of thing. But I never realized that she was mean to me because she felt like I didn't like her. And I was like, hell, she really don't like me because she mean to me. You know what I'm saying? And so, but when we got to talking about it, we realized that we really were just doing stuff that big sisters and little sisters do. Like, she would steal my clothes. It used to piss me off. Well, that's what big sisters and little sisters do, right? I wouldn't want her hanging out with me. I never wanted her hanging with me and my friends. Well, that's what big sisters and little sisters do. But in her mind, well, they're my friends too. Why can't I come? It was that kind of thing. So anyway, that might be her right there. Is that her at my door? Oh, I don't know if that's her at my door or not. Let me check my messages. No, that ain't her at my door. But anyway, my 15-year-old eyes and my sister 26-year-old eyes understand the situation very differently. And no, I understand it's not that she is lying. She had a different context. Right. I had a whole hit when my parents wouldn't let me go to the New Edition concert with a bunch of teenagers. I had a whole fit. Yeah. I had a small wedding when I was 23, didn't invite my sister because we didn't like each other. 10 years later, we took our first trip together. Right. And when there's a big age difference, that also makes a difference too. When there's an age gap, that makes a difference too. And my sister was a brat. She was the baby. She was the brat. It was a lot of elements that go into it. But these are the kinds of things you don't talk about. My older sister used to steal my money and I used to whoop her butt. Child, now stealing my money. My sister used to do the same thing to me, and we shared friends also. Our friends would come over, and she would go to her room and put me out. Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, it made it hard because we had our neighborhood friends, and we shared friends, And it's funny because to this day, we're all still friends. We're all still, we still got the group chat. We still although we need to get together. We ain't got together in a while, but we still get together during COVID. We would do Zooms together. So we're all still friends, but we all have our different experiences with each other. Right. Anyway, you guys, let me get off of here. I got a couple of things I need to do before I get out of here to get ready to go to all over my cousin's house for Easter dinner. I'm washing clothes. Child, y'all know it took me all week to start washing clothes. I've been off all week and ain't washed a load of clothes. Now I'm trying to wash all these daggone clothes over the next 2 days, child. I need to put some clothes in the Goodwill is what I need to do. I have 2 much, too many clothes. Does that sound right? Too many clothes. I have too much clothing. That's better. I have too much. Like I have way too much. Way too much. And some of it, a lot of it, I just don't wear anymore. You know how when you y'all know, all the people that know, when you gain weight, you say, well, I don't want to get rid of that because I'm gonna lose weight and I'm gonna wear it again. Because here's the thing, I am gonna lose some weight. And when I lose the weight, I'm gonna buy new clothes. So I need to get rid of this shit. What day next week will you have time to do what? What you talking about, Tracy? Me and my sister are 3 years apart, and we do not share friends because they were able ors. Powerful. Are you driving and typing? Please don't be driving and typing, boo. So yeah. So I'm washing clothes. So when I get off of here, I'm gonna unblock 8 powerful. I'm gonna go into my thing and unblock powerful. Oh, they're all label whores. Child, y'all know I'm a label whore, child. Y'all know I don't even pretend to not be. I am. I have been my whole life. I grew up in that time period. Like I grew up in the 80s where designers became a thing, and I went to see. So let me say this. This don't have nothing to do with show. We done with Love and Marriage, DC child. But let me say this. I grew up in the 80s and 90s, right? Where designers became a thing, like designers that we could afford, where they started using logos and they started putting their labels on stuff. And it was, when I say that we could afford, I mean, it was still expensive, but it was affordable. Let me put it that way. I went to Catholic school, which means that I wore the same thing Monday through Friday. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 12th grade. So when I could get an outfit for a birthday party or out, because that's generally when I got a new outfit, it was for a birthday party or a concert, like something was happening. But my mother didn't just my mother didn't just buy clothes. I didn't just get wardrobes. I would get now summertime I would, because of course it's the summer, but like my fall, winter, spring, I didn't just get wardrobes because I wore a uniform 5 days a week. So I had my play clothes, right? I had my clothes that I wore after 5. I had my play clothes. And then on the weekends, I had my church clothes on Sunday. So really it was just Saturday, right? Well, unless I was going somewhere, I just put on my play clothes. So when it was time to get an outfit, yes, I wanted Guess or Jordache or Sasson or whatever the name brand was, right? So I feel like the name, the label thing comes from that. Like if I had to really break it down, I really feel like it comes from that mindset of I'm getting one outfit for this. It got to be fly. You know what I'm saying? It's got to be the latest what everybody else is wearing outfit so I can blend in. Because Monday through Friday, I'm wearing a damn uniform every day. So I think that's where it comes from. But I'm not one of those people that I'm not gonna skip my car note so I can get a Gucci bag. Like I'm not that person. I mean, I will save up for one. I will save up for one. But I'm not gonna, jeopardize my mortgage to buy a new pair of shoes. Like we're not playing those games. I don't do that. Okay. But I will drive past a regular shoe store to go to Tory Burch and get a pair of shoes. I will do that. Now I'm just telling you the truth. I'll do that. But baby, when Payless was open, Payless was my shit. Because they sold wide sizes. Y'all know I got fat feet, baby. I would go to Payless and I would get 3-4 pair of shoes from Payless, and then I would go get 1 pair of shoes, Michael Kors or Coach or Tory Burch or Polo. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna have a closet. But I had 4 or 5 pairs of shoes now. But I would have that one, boom shoe. See what I'm saying? But anyway. Here, you guys, like I said, let me get some stuff done around the house before I run out here and go have me some dinner. And I will see y'all later on this afternoon. Mwah! For Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm opening up that I think I already did it, that video on credit. It's open. I took it off for members only. I had so many people asking about it, so I took it off of members only. I'm still going to put it back on members only, but I'm going to keep it off on members only for about a week. That should give everybody enough time to watch it, see it, get the information, and then I'll probably put it back on members only. And the only reason why it's on members only is because I just I tell a lot of my business, and I mean, I don't tell y'all my social security number, stuff like that, but I do tell the kind of stuff that we talk about in members only. So, but because it is so much good information, I opened it back up. So if you didn't catch it, go ahead and get the information. It's a lot of good information, and I am going to send the email out. If you emailed me, if you send me a DM about getting the email, I'm going to send that out now. So I'm going to unblock Powerful. I'm going to send out the email. I'm going to do those two things before I stand up. Because once I stand up and start doing stuff around the house, I know I'm going to forget. So I'm going to do that right now. And then y'all will see me later on tonight for the Real Housewives of Potomac reunion part 1. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.